for today's topic. The Queen. Oh, good old deletion. This guy. This is the one we should talk about today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am sad today, for today, or days previous, I found out that a demon friend of mine has been sent away to serve time for its crimes. But when you don't follow the rules of a psychotic, well, and to be clear to those who are watching me, I am a psychotic. My name is Dark Magic. Yes, and a psychotic is the one who has been possessed or has been taken by an entity such as myself. This person is a vessel. I am its power. This is the helmet of Y, and together we talk about the dark side of crime. So today I will talk about one of the most evilest demons there are. But I have to talk about the vessel of that demon first. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get to the papers, shall we? And the papers of this person who goes by Laurie Vallow, a.k.a. Laurie Yanes, a.k.a. Laurie LaGoya, a.k.a. Laurie Ryan, a.k.a. Laurie Vallow, a.k.a. Laurie Daybell, a.k.a. Laurie the Streets.
She belongs to the streets.
Yes. Yes, she was a she is a very, very nice person who has been accused of deleting her children. And I am here to tell you that that is not the truth. But the truth is alleged, is it not? So, Miss Daybell, a.k.a. the Streets,
she belongs to the streets,
was born in 1973. Born a beautiful blonde young lady. Yes, she was a beauty queen of sorts. It is pretty much where she absorbed her powers. Now, if you listen to the newspapers, she was married 5 times. 5 times marriage. Well, that would take a toll on anyone. One of her husbands was deleted by her own brother. Manipulation, which is something that is used by most demons. If you don't know, it's a trait of a demon, manipulation. You know what you're dealing with. Also, well, she's accused, allegedly, of deleting the wife of her last and 5th husband, Mr. Chad Daybell. Now, let's talk about these marriages for a second, shall we? And then I will get to the demon that possesses Mrs. Daybell the Streets.
she belongs to the streets.
Miss Daybell first marriage was in 1992 to Mr. Yanes, her high school sweetheart. Then she married in 95 to Mr. LaGoya. That lasted a year. And then she married in 2001 to Joseph Ryan. He is the father of her daughter, Tylee. Yes, beautiful name for a beautiful little girl. That went awry. Mr. Ryan is no longer with us, not because of Miss for the Streets, but no, he had a heart attack. He passed away from a heart attack. And then she married Mr. Vallow, a man who was of nice means. He was flashy, he was fly, he was older. She was his young to his older. She was his possession. He loved her. Yes, until his possession started gaining dust. Yes, it happens. And during the time of the dust gaining, you know, when in between the 30s and 40s, when women sometimes lose their shine, well, they adopted a young boy named JJ, young JJ, sweet, sweet kid. And Mr. Vallow, his name was Charles. They married in 2006, in 6 they married. But Charles' sister suggested that they take the boy and adopt him and you know, and show him a good time. Show him a good life. That's all she wanted for him. She was caring for him, but for some reason, I guess she felt if he had a more rounded family, he would be okay. He would be better, in better shape. Well, that was a mistake, wasn't it? Then they got divorced. Yes, Mr. Vallow, he had 2 of his own kids on the outside also, but they were divorced because, well, it just wasn't working anymore. And then he came back to confront her about certain things, and, well, during that time they got into a kerfuffle, and her brother was there, and he said that Mr. Vallow hit him in the head with a bat, and he came back with his gun, told Mr. Vallow to put the bat down, and Mr. Vallow said no and tried to attack him, and he shot Mr. Vallow. Yes, so Mr. Vallow is deceased. Yes, he is. Well, then in the picture of this happened around 2018. After Mr. Vallow was deceased by the brother of Mrs. For the Streets, Lori Vallow, in 2018, she was already looking at another suitor, a man who adored her and spoke of final destinations and the end of the world. He talked in cult language, but when he talked about her, he talked in an obsessive language. He sang to her demon. I will get to that later. But they end up getting together, after which, in 2019, his wife mysteriously passes away. His wife, who had 5 children for him. 5. Yes, 5 children for him. And to this day, the children believe that Miss Lori Daybell, a.k.a. For the Streets, had hypnotized him in a way to where he would do something like that. That he was like, it's not him. He wouldn't normally do that thing, but there's a bigger story at play. Now that you've got most of the information, and during this time, excuse me, I must go there. Miss Lori Daybell For the Streets was accused of deleting her children. And of course, deleting the wife of Mr. Chad Daybell. They said she had something to do with that also. Now, there you go. That is the briefing of what she has done and the timeline of which she has done it. It's sad, and she has been convicted and charged of this case. So in saying that, hold on, ladies and gentlemen, I'm waiting. There it is. The Ring of Destiny. Yes. Boys and girls, it is time for Daddy Darkside, with the assistance of the Helmet of Y, to take you into a realm of dark YouTube, where I can tell you exactly what is going on with Mrs. Lori For the Streets Daybell. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to lend me your ear as I tell you a tale of a possession. Now, I've told my tale before as far as my possession, but we call it an absorption. Back in the day, before Lori was married to her first high school beau, Mr. Yanes, she was approached by a demon of sorts. Yes, this demon is the most vicious, very much honed from the soul. I've never seen a demon with such power over a being in my life. Even I struggle to deal with this one, because he tries to come through and say things that he does not know is true. But That is for another time. For this time, we talk about demon possession or absorption. And Lori Vallow Daybell absorbed her demon, which means she accepted it willingly. And the name of that demon is Vanity. Yes, vanity should have been one of the deadliest sins, but it wasn't, because it was an entity. Vanity is the worst. So let's go back to before Miss Lori Vallow for the streets married her first husband. This demon approached her as it approaches many women. The demon of vanity. Yes, it approached her and told her it would give her riches beyond her means. It would give her the best men and the best life. She would travel in luxury. She would be the queen and the belle of the ball. And without even thinking, yes, she reached out to that demon and absorbed it. There's one thing so sad about vanity. It grows inside of the person that absorbs it. See, if you didn't want vanity, it does not grow. Even though it is inside of you, if it was inside of you and you did not want it, it would not grow. It would be there, but it wouldn't grow. But when you absorb vanity, it grows, and it grows and grows and grows until it takes your soul and crushes it. There's nothing inside of you but vanity. Well, it hadn't grown that much at first. I would say past her first 3 husbands, the vanity had not grown. But it was feeling disrespected after the first 2. The first 2 husbands that didn't work out because they saw past what Miss Vallow for the streets Lori looked like. Yes, she was a beauty queen. Yes, she had the shape and the blonde hair, the nice breasts and the perfect body. Yes, allegedly. Because this is an alleged tale. My taste for women are different. But for some men, Mrs. Lori Vallow for the streets Daybell was prime chuck until they spent time with her. And then they learned, see, men are warriors, and we can smell the demon of vanity on a woman. It's horrible. We can deal with it only so long, even to have sex with it. We can only deal with it for a little while. And then it becomes annoying. It becomes irresponsible. It becomes disrespectful, and we only want to get away from it before we do something horrible. Well, on the other end, for a woman, as the vanity grows, nothing is more important than she is. Well, Mrs. Lori Vallow for the streets was able to hold on to her vanity demon for only so long as to raise her oldest son, Kobe, who was for William Laboria, or however you pronounce his name. She held on to that vanity for the longest. She used her love for Kobe to keep her demon of vanity at bay. But eventually, it would get out of hand. And what triggered it was her next child with Joseph Ryan. Tylee. See, nothing threatens a vanity demon like the birth of a female child, because that child will become a sexier version of its mother, and she can't stand that. So her vanity demon would make her feed that child all kinds of candies and cakes and fast food. Oh no, there'll be no home cooking for that child. No, there'll be no water. No, there'll just be sodas and candies and cakes. Yes, that is the vanity demon. And you ask yourself, well, does she still love that child? Well, yes. But she cannot control the demon once it has gotten bigger and once it feels threatened. See, I am an entity myself, but I feel no threat because this vessel does not have anything that threatens me. He welcomed me, and I will continued to tell this tale. Well, once Tylee was getting old and not as cute as she used to be. To keep Charles Vallow entertained, Laurie for the streets, Vallow was fine with adopting little JJ and playing with little JJ because he did not threaten her vanity demon. Yes, which had pretty much absorbed her, taking away her juices and her oils, aging her, because the demon did not appreciate what she was doing. She was weighing it down, and the demon wanted to be a free spirit, feeling like she was young again. And that's when she ran into Mr. Chad Daybell, a person who I might call a demon singer. Yes, he sings to the hearts of demons and women. And the demon loved every word he said because it hadn't heard these words in so long. Mr. Vallow had lost interest in her, and she knew it. He loved her still, but he lost interest because she was slowly fading. Because when you don't give a vanity demon what it wants, it will take away what you rightfully had. Your beauty. Yes, you will no longer be sexy. You will be partially attractive. You'll be okay. You'll be all right. But in that man's eyes, you'll no longer be sexy, and you'll see it. And that's what Laurie Vallow saw in Mr. Vallow's eyes. He no longer wanted her, but he loved her still. And what does she do when it comes to Mr. Vallow? Well, she does what every vanity demon does. Built in every woman, she will play with what you do love. Since she see you have no interest in her no more, then she'll keep the kids away. Yes, that is the playground of a vanity demon, causing you pain because she knows you still love those children. And you'll do anything to be with them and spend time with them because they bring you joy. It is not for you to be happy in the eyes of a vanity demon. No. And then when Mr. Vallow went to the house, that was always on his mind. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you playing with me with these children? See, he thought he still had some type of grasp on her, but she had already passed him by. She was already listening to the whispers of the Pied Piper known as Mr. Chad Daybell. Yeah, so all she wanted to do was get rid of him without paying for a nasty divorce and losing more money because that was something she didn't have. The money for little JJ was not enough, nor was it for Tylee. When you want to live a certain lifestyle, renting a nice house and looking as if you have money that you don't, well, the demon made her do what she did. He made her manipulate her brother into deleting Mr. Vallow. Yes, that's what demons do. They use their environment to a T. They're keen. They're the best at it, and that's because they're the worst at it. Yes, her demon never felt so sexy than when it was around Mr. Daybell, this man who was an author and probably well-to-do. They never state what he was worth, but I'm sure he had some pocket change. But he also had a ball and chain he needed to get rid of without going through a nasty divorce and losing half of his money. And that was his wife of 5 children. Now, would I say that Mrs. Vallow, Laurie the Vallow from the streets,
She belongs to the streets.
deleted his wife? No. Do I think Laurie Vallow from the streets deleted her children? No. But the demon of vanity, in a heartbeat, the demon of vanity has no children. The demon of vanity has no heart. All it knows is getting out the way things that are in the way. And that is what happened with Miss Laurie Vallow from the streets.
She belongs to the streets.
She is just another victim carrying along a passenger that she didn't know would take her through what it took her through. But she was fine in the beginning for the ride. Oh, I'll do the pageants and I'll be on Wheel of Fortune and win 17K. The good days. But once a demon takes you on, they can't leave until you're destroyed or put away. If you were to talk to Lori Vallow from the street, she would deny any of it with a straight face, and she would be right. It is a vanity demon that has a hold on her, and it will not let go ever until she perishes, and then it will find another host. Just that easy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is my tale from the dark side. I thank you for joining me, and please do come again. Hit the subscribe and like button, will you? Thank you very much. Have a great day.